Hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and I'm bringing you guys my Week 9 battle for the P4G Next Generation. Now, as you probably saw in my team builder, we're going up against General Tar Heel, coach of the Charlotte Charizards, and he and I are both jockeying for playoff spots, and so this is a very crucial match. If you want to see a little bit of the team that we have brought, I recommend you go check out that team builder. But in case you didn't, I can tell you real quick what I've brought. I brought a Damp Rock Pelipper, Modest Nature, U-Turn, Scald, Hurricane Tailwind. I brought a fully Spadef Scizor for dealing with Kieran Black. I brought a Water Absorb Modest Toad with Stealth Rock, Toxic, Scald, Earth Power. I brought a Trick Room, Healing Wish, Musharna. I brought a Pixie Plate Modest Tapu Koko with Thunder and Defog and U-Turn. And then last, I brought a SD Swift Swim Armaldo with Stone Plate. So, as you can see, General Tar Heel has brought his Entei, his Gligar, Kieran Black, Cobalion, Nidoqueen, and Lantern. So, from looking at his team, he's done a pretty good job of preparing for most of my threats. He's got 3 really solid mons for checking Tapu Koko, being the Gligar, Nidoqueen, and Lantern. He's got some nice checks to Scizor, like Entei and Cobalion. Both of those deal pretty well, and Nidoqueen in a pinch can also deal. But what's good for me is that he doesn't really have answers to a few of my mons. Like Toad in particular seems really nice versus his team. I kind of wish I had brought a Swift Swim Toad. I kind of would body him. But, you know, it is what it is. Armaldo, if I can weaken the Gligar, is looking quite nice. Like +2 should handle most of his team because I've got Earthquake for hitting Entei, Cobalion, Nidoqueen, and Lantern. And then I obviously have Stone Edge for hitting Kieran Black. I might even be able to go for X Scissor if I'm at +2. Versus that thing, which would be really nice if, you know, because I don't want to have to risk the miss. If I don't have to, that would really really stink. But just looking at the damage calcs real quick, yeah. So if he is a max attack, max speed, Kieran Black, X Scissor at +2 does 72.5% min. So I'm probably gonna be clicking that because the chances of getting that roll are better than the chances of hitting Stone Edge. So that's good to know. So yeah, in terms of my lead matchup, I really want to lead Pelipper because I want to get up the rain as soon as possible. But I don't anticipate that I'm going to be staying in versus a lot of his team, just because unless it's like Gligar, I should there's a chance that I'm outsped by everything that he's brought, because he didn't bring anything like Tangrowth like that Pelipper otherwise would have been like really nice for U-turning on or Hurricaning on. So I just want to get my Pelipper in, set up my rain, and I'm probably going to make a quick double just depending upon what he has chosen to lead with. So let's hop right on into this battle and see if we can't pick up a W versus General Tar Heel. So good luck, have fun. He is going to be rocking out with those nice sunglasses in that button-up striped t-shirt, and I'm quite a fan of that. But I do lead with my Pelipper, as I explained, and he leads off with Zuko, his Entei. That's a really nice nickname. I like the Avatar Last Airbender series quite a lot. It's one of the best cartoons to come out in the last 10-15 years or so. And so I'm a little traumatized by the Choice Banded Arcanine that I faced off versus a few weeks ago. And so if this is a banded Entei, I don't really want to mess with it. So I'm going to go into my Toad because I am expecting either the Stone Edge or the switch into the Lantern. And for some reason he goes for Fire move, obviously Seismic Toad's good versus that as well. So he does make the switch into the Lantern, and this is a nice opportunity for me to get up my rocks. There's not a lot that Lantern can do to threaten me. It certainly can't Oko me, but he does show the Hidden Power Grass, which is going to do a decent chunk to me, and this damage does reveal that he is very attack invested. So I'm thinking this is either a Shuka Berry set or more likely an Assault Vest set, and after I go for the Earth Power here, this does reveal that it is Assault Vest. And so Assault Vest makes a lot of sense versus my team. It's a great response for Tapu Koko, for Volcanion, for Pelipper. Just really, really solid overall. But the fact that I was able to get over 50% on this thing is just fantastic, because it means it's a lot harder for him to use it to check my Koko. And because I did have that Mon go down, I can pretty easily go into Armaldo and start to break some holes too. I go for the Stone Edge in case he stays in, decides to give me his Lantern. He instead goes into his Gligar, which I think is a pretty reasonable play. But as you see, that kind of takes a chunk of damage. And so I'm figuring he's going to go for Roost on this turn. Maybe I should have gone for another Stone Edge to see if I could knock him out. But, like, you know, I thought that maybe a +2 Stone Edge would do a lot of damage. He was at a higher amount of HP than I realized. After he roosts, he's at like 95%. And so I realized that a max roll Stone Edge is only going to be able to do like 95 max. So I need, maybe a max roll to kill him. But I can do tremendous damage, as you can see, bringing him down to like 15% or less. And he goes for a Rock Tomb. This is a really nice tech on his part because it actually allows his Gligar to outspeed. And I should outspeed a no-speed Gligar, but he needs like over 100 EVs in speed in order to outspeed this Armaldo spread that I've got. So that's really good to know. It kind of works out. I went for X Scissor just because I knew that at +2 it would kill Gligar from the range of HP that it was at. I didn't expect to be outsped, but because he lost his flying typing, X Scissor was the best move for hitting him. It did the most amount of damage of any move I could have clicked. But this is my last turn of Rain, and Scizor I think is a really safe switch in because he's almost certainly going to be going for Roost, just trying to stall out the Rain. And now I can Mega Evolve, get all that extra bulk, and go for a knockoff. He makes a smart play going into his Entei, just because Entei doesn't care too much for anything that Scizor can go for. But what's nice for me is that I do have knockoff to hit this Entei. Obviously it resists both of my stabs, but knockoff allows me to do nice damage, about 30% to an uninvested Entei, and then I can get rid of whatever item this thing is holding. And so it chose to have a Lychee Berry, and I'm not positive on this, but I think this is for Natural Gift of some sort, so I didn't actually look it up, but I'm guessing it's like Natural Gift Grass or something like that. I can look it up real quick, and yep, that's exactly what it's for. So that's a really nice move to hit my Toad. Makes me really wish I had packed a Rindoberry Toad. This is like the first week I didn't pack Rindoberry Toad. You know, that wasn't a Swift Swim set, and obviously it's coming back to bite me. So anyway, rewinding a few turns, he was expecting my switch into Pelipper, so I went for Stone Edge. I anticipated that, made a middle ground play going into Musharna. I set up Trick Room because it looked like he didn't have very many good Psychic Resists, aka he had no Psychic Resists. But I miscalculated and forgot that Entei likely has extreme speed, and that can take out my Musharna. But what's funny is that Armaldo, with the EV spread that I have, it outspeeds his whole team in Rain, but it actually outslows his whole team in Trick Room as well. So this is fantastic. I can come in here and I can apply a lot of pressure with Armaldo. And I go for Earthquake, hit the incoming Nidoqueen. He was probably expecting the Stone Edge, but just based on the amount of damage that thing did, I'm not sure that it would have lived 2 Stone Edges, to be honest. Just because I do so much damage with the Stone Plate and everything. But I am able to take out the Nidoqueen, which is another nice check to Coco that he has. And now he can bring in his Cobalion. This is my last turn of Trick Room, and so I'm quite worried about the possibility of a Double Dance Cobalion. If he goes for a Rock Polish on my switch out, and then he goes for a Swords Dance on the following turn, like I don't have a move on my team that can one-shot him, I would be SOL. And so unfortunately I decide that I have to sack Armaldo here in order to deal with a potential Cobalion threat. And now that he's only got a 50% HP Lantern, this Coco went from looking like just a lure for most of the Mons on his team to being able to actually collect several kills. And so he is going to be going into his Gligar on my Dazzling Gleam. This is going to be able to easily two-shot. I am boosted by my Modest Nature and by my Pixie Plate, and so that Gligar just did not take it very well whatsoever, so that's actually pretty nice for me. And we're going to be able to collect that kill. So we are down to 3 Mons, if I'm not mistaken. But he's also, you know, running out of options here. He's got his Kyurem Black, he's got Lantern, Cobalion, and I forget what the last Mon is, but I'm pretty sure he has 4 Mons at this point. Entei is his last Mon. So the way he brings his Kyurem in, I'm of course fearing the Scarf, and so I'm going to check for that by going into my Pelipper. And the reason I went into Pelipper instead of Scizor is because, like, you know, the fact that he's threatening Scarf is so obvious in my switch out is so obvious that I was worried he would go for HP Fire, predicting the Scizor. So Pelipper allows me to scout for that and also covers a potential Earth Power play. And now I can easily go into Scizor and scout for potential Fusion Bolt to see if he's not Scarfed. And it turns out he is not Scarfed, but he's not packing the Fusion Bolt. He goes for Ice Beam. And he doesn't have a boosting item, which makes me believe that he is Babiri Berry, but I know for a fact that Scizor can knock off that Babiri Berry and put it in range guaranteed of Bullet Punch. And so the Rain helps me take like 30% from Kyurem Black's HP Fire, which is just amazing. That's why this Mon is so broken in Rain. It's just so hard to deal with. It can set up, it can restall anything that it needs. It's just such a threat. So that's looking really, really nice. And so we take out the Kieran Black, and now he can go into his Cobalion. I don't want anything taking damage from this Cobalion, so I'm just going to let it go for a Calm Mind or a attacking move, whichever he prefers. And I'm going to U-turn the heck on out of here. And because he took another round of rocks, because he's been taking a little bit of U-turn chip damage, he's definitely in range. If he wasn't in range before, he's definitely in range now of a modest Pixie Plate Dazzling Gleam from my Tapu Koko. And yeah, he's kind of looking like he's at like 25% or so. But it's hard to say. I wish I could do the live comms and get those HP bars that people put on their OBS, so you can better evaluate how much HP they're really at. But I don't have a capture card. I have to do this the ghetto way and do it with Citra. I mean, it works out because it looks fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just a whole lot of extra work, and I have to hack the battle file out of my my game and everything like that. You know, hacking sounds more dramatic than it actually is, but anyway, we're getting very off topic. Take out the Cobalion. Lantern comes in. I shouldn't be able to one-shot this, but the way I'm lining up the game is we can get rid of this Lantern. Scald does put us in range of extreme speed from Entei, but a Adamant max attack Entei can only do 95% max to my Pelipper, so we'll let him kill the Koko. We'll go hard into Pelipper after that, and a Scald should finish off the game, barring a crit. So I'm feeling pretty good about this path to victory. We just need to make sure that everything works out for us. It's really nice that there were no rocks put up on my side of the field the whole game. It must have been on the Nidoqueen because of the fact that it was a setup Cobalion. And yeah, Nidoqueen just didn't get a chance to set to click any attacking moves because we blew that thing back with our Armaldo. It's not something you see every day, because Nidoqueen does resist the dual stabs of Armaldo, obviously. So he doesn't even get a chance to connect. So we are looking comfortable here. We can land a Scald, and that is going to be a good game to General Tar Heel. So 2-0 victory. We have had so many close games this season. We've had 4 1-0s. And we've gone 2-2 in those games. I think in a previous week I said I had like 3 1-0s, but it's actually 4. I forgot about my battle versus Carson, which was on Showdown, which was amazing. Just because the Kangaskhan versus Seismitoad on the last turn, Kangaskhan survived with like 5 HP and survived and took out my Toad, so that was fantastic. We had a close 1-0 last week, and get a close 2-0 this week. Like, if Pelipper at any point had taken any damage, I think I would have lost there. Because Scizor was in range of a Sacred Fire even in the rain, and my Bullet Punch wouldn't have been able to kill. I think he still had like 25% HP left. So unless he like missed Sacred Fire, which is possible, it does have only like a 90% accuracy, he would have been able to collect the W. But we had the Pelipper at full health and were able to survive that. And yeah, all in all, just a really fun game. Big shout outs to General Tar Heel for being a good sport and bringing a scary team. And this is going to put us to 6-3 on this season. 6-3 puts us in, I think, depending upon the results of the other games this week, puts us in 5th place out of the 16 teams. It's a little bit subject to change because I'm not sure that all the games are finished yet. But, you know, 5th place is really comfortable when there are 8 playoff spots. I would still like to win at least one of our next 2 games to put us to 7 wins. I think that would virtually guarantee us a playoff spot. But I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I'm trying not to be overconfident about making playoffs, but I'm feeling pretty good. And at the very least, we secured a winning season, and sometimes that's the most important thing to me, is just to go over 500. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you check back to the channel for other gaming and Pokemon content. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.